Good morning, Northside. This is PSPN, and it starts
right now. Good morning, Patriots. I'm Jackson Gordy alongside Kyle Newman. This is PSPN.
Thank you, Jackson. On this edition of PSPN, we will highlight last weekend sports and give you a heads up on what's happening this week. Last weekend sports, the football team took on Lee County on Friday night. They did end up losing, but are hoping to bounce back against Hardaway this week.
I hope so, Kyle. Competition cheerleaders placed third at Worth County this weekend.
That's great for the competition cheerleaders.
Gotta love them.
Also, the cross-country team has placed first in region. They now have state coming up and are hoping to come out on top.
They've been doing so good all year.
Yes, they have.
They really have.
This week in sports, the football team has their final home game tonight at 7 o'clock against Hardaway. They're looking to end the season on a good note. Now, let's go to Drew Wells and have an interview with him.
Good morning, Patriot fans. I'm Jackson Gordy here with Drew Wells. Drew, this is the final game of your senior season. How do you feel?
I feel great. We're ready. We're really prepared to go into this game.
I hear you. Y'all are playing Hardaway. How do you think that game's going to go?
Well, we have a very strong chance of winning as long as we execute and run the plays the way we need to run the plays.
All right. Well, hope you have a good night, Drew.
Yeah, thanks, Gordy.
The competition cheerleaders have their region competition this Saturday at CSU. Come out and support them.
Also on Saturday, the cross-country team has their state meet. Now, Kyle, last week's Spotlight of the Week was our fans. Can you please educate us on this week's?
Well, Jackson, tonight we have a very special Spotlight of the Week.
Oh, we do. Please tell us.
It is senior night against Hardaway Hawks.
We're hoping to come out on top.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Shout to all my boss boys, we rally. Shout to all my boss boys. Shout to all my boss boys. When you're ready, when you're ready.
Now, Patriots, remember, this is the game of the week, so bring in your ticket stubs and turn them in at lunch to maybe win a prize from us, PSPN.
Don't want to miss that awesome prize, do you, Kyle?
No, you do not.
Now, Kyle, last week we had an interesting interview with Landon Dupree.
Yes, we did. It was quite interesting.
Oh, very interesting as our fan of the week. Now, Kyle, please do educate us. What is this week's fan of the week?
Well, this week we have Jake Harrell as our PSPN fan of the week. Now, let's see what he has to say about his awesome achievement.
I'm here with Jake Harrell, this week's fan of the week. Jake, how do you feel about being this week's fan of the week?
Well, I'm pretty excited about it. Didn't really know I was going to get fan of the week. I just put some pictures on Instagram, you know.
I'm telling you,
it just kind of happened.
Doesn't it work?
It works. It works pretty good.
It does work for Patriot fans.
Well, Jackson, that was quite the interview.
Just a tad bit better than last week's.
I don't know yet. We'll figure that out.
We need to have a judging for this, like at the end of the year. Just get all of our previous interviews up.
And judge them. And pick the best fan of the week.
We'll actually do that. We'll probably do that in a couple months here at PSPN.
believe-
Once we get enough interviews, we'll do that.
I believe that is a true statement.
We can do that.
Yes.
Next week in sports, don't forget that our competition cheerleaders will be competing for the state cheer competition at the Civic Center.
Also, our wrestling team has their first tournament of the season next week.
And last but not least, our basketball team will tip off their season next week.
Well, Patriots, tune in next week to see what's happening in sports.
As always, I'm Jackson Gordy.
And I'm Kyle Newman. And that's a wrap from PSPN. Have a great weekend, Patriots.